Hello everybody and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2. Last time we went on a few contracts, we made some friends, we helped out Cadet, and now we gotta get out of here. We're being hunted. Constantly hunted by our favorite person who is definitely gonna murder us if he finds us. So we're gonna head over, I think I mentioned it last time, we're going to go to Flotsam because I believe someone there might be able to help us. We do need to get a HasNav suit to get anywhere else. We can't get back to Darkside, but we can try and get to these places. We'll just need a HasNav. But that's something we can worry about later on. For now, I'm gonna grab us some supplies, and then I think we gotta go. Or, maybe we wait 2 cycles, and then just see... source some supplies, maybe try and make some money real quick. I feel like that could be a useful thing to do. And then when we... because this goes down by 3 every travel, so if we wait 2 more cycles, then we can probably get a few things done. I just want to make sure we have a good amount of money. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So I'll just very quickly do some work. Let's see. Yeah, because right now it'll be 75. So if our crew members can find supplies for us, that would be really good. Oh yeah, we can do some work. Only vouch for members can gamble. Yeah, we can start working on this. I don't see why not. This is probably not the best role to use first, but let's see. Yeah, we got 3 cryo though. A dreary cycle full of desperate and angry drunks. Even when you get a customer, you don't feel much like chatting. Unfortunately. Alright, let's end the cycle. We'll just take a cycle or 2 to just do things, and then when we get to Flotsam, it'll be completely out, and we'll have... Oh! Maybe I can put my glitch dice to use. I really want that achievement. I want it. Why is that one cracked in half? Or is that my screen? I hope that's not my screen. You guys see that too, right? It is on there. Huh. Interesting. I thought something was wrong with my screen. Alright, well, we only got a few good rolls this week. Let's see. Let's risk it with the big boy rolls. I just need to get the achievement once. Nope. Second time's the charm. Nope. One day. I'm just not doing good at this job. They're like, why do we keep letting this guy back in? Alright, and then one more cycle where we're probably not gonna get much done. But you know what? This is getting rid of some glitch time, too. Which is important if we want to actually get stuff done at other places. We don't want glitch dice all the time. And who knows who we might run into in the next zone. Ooh, not bad. And we did source some supplies. Only 1, but I don't mind. That's something. Alright, one more time. Maybe this time. No. Alright. Alright. I can learn my lesson. I'm still gonna try again. But we made a little bit of cryo. We'll risk it. For the biscuit. Hey. Okay. So that was decent. That was good. I need to eat some food. We'll grab some supplies and then we gotta go. Yummy kelp cakes. Then the trade hall. See, it's only 60 now. So that's 15. I know I did spend some money on food, but now we're leaving with about the same amount that we would have had otherwise. I don't know. We don't need any more fuel for now. I just want to grab the supplies now. I'm sure maybe they're cheaper at Flotsam, but it's better to have them now, methinks. Alright. Out to the belt and over to Flotsam we go. 4 fuel! Alright, we'll refill on the way back. I'll have them source fuel. Because I don't know if we're going to go to a contract right away. Depends on what there is, you know? It's hard to tell where Flotsam ends and the ships parked at its many docking bridges begin. At Seraphim docks with the station, you realize that the rig now looks like just another piece of accumulated technology. One more bit of driftwood added to the raft. I love this place. Seraphin smiles as he shuts down the engines. You never know what you'll find. You've been here before? I'm gonna guess he's gonna be like, we've been here before, and then just start crying. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, back when I first came to the Belt, the crew I signed on with used to run salvage jobs out here. Fun place to spend your wages. You see Bliss eyeing the station with what looks like both horror and fascination. You see the seals? They point out some twisted assemblage of ship parts. Total cowboy welds, they could pop any moment. Seraphin waves away their concerns. Oh, that's just the outer layer. I heard there's 6 or 7 in all, so if one fails, it's no problem. He stretches and turns to you. You've got to taste some of the stuff they grow in old Takahi. He kisses his fingers. Mwah! That's the good shit. Oh, great. Bliss sighs. So many layers of redundancy and fallbacks that you have no hope of isolating a leak and fixing it. They wrap a wall against the rig. Sounds like a ship I know. Oh, you fixed the ship! Seraphin joins in, and the two of you shoulder to shoulder. She got you out of here, didn't she? He shrugs at Bliss. No sense of gratitude. I mean, we should have gratitude towards them, too. I was joking. Bliss looks a little hurt and drifts out of the cockpit, shaking their head. Oh, sorry. You go to follow, but Seraphin puts a hand on your shoulder. Sleeper. He looks suddenly serious. Remember what I said about getting checked out? There are artificers all over this place. Oh, we can play some Dungeons and Dragons. It'll take a bit of searching, but we need to know what's going on with you. He meets your eye. That's why we're here. That's why I chose to come here. Good. Seraphin nods. Let me know what they say. I'm gonna go see if any of my old haunts are still open. He drifts out of the cockpit with a mock salute. Catch you later. You're left alone in the cockpit with a view of Flotsam's chaotic structure. You look over the multicolor playing. It does, you admit, have a certain charm, until everything explodes. It's pretty though. I like the blocky structure. It looks like a little piece of like a puzzle. Or like those little magnetic things that you could stick together. So, all the way down, we're not being hunted anymore. We have the Flotsam hub. So, let's see. Learning the chaotic structures of Flotsam from corridor to ship and back again takes time. Flotsam is made from maybe hundreds of ships gathered and modified over time. A good engineer might be able to identify them. Or explore Flotsam, which we definitely can't do. A ramshackle assemblage of decommissioned ships and wrecks. To call Flotsam labyrinth is a serious understatement. Interesting. Well, I say we start exploring. The sooner we find a food place, the better, so I won't use the glitch dice right away. We'll start with the positive dice we have. Nice. You start paying attention to the wires, feeds, and pipes. They lead you everywhere, from busy thoroughfares to hidden bays. What'd we unlock? Aha! The narrow escape. Ooh, take a recovery contract. The narrow escape's barman, Botan, has a tip about a recovery contract. For a few chits, he'll give you the coordinates. My rig's blown its propulsion and I'm stranded on some godforsaken rock. Repair crew needed. We'll split haul, no time wasters or thieves. I'm armed. Alma. Does that name sound familiar or am I wrong? Scraps and components. A safe contract. Well, we do need contracts. I'll grab it. We should probably run and do that. That seems like one we could probably take care of right now. We would just need to buy fuel. So let's look around a little bit more. If we can. Nice. Identifying the twisted holes help you distinguish the new and old parts of the station, leading you through its complex passages. We'll risk these ones. Okay, not bad. You follow the remains of a freighter as it splices with some unknown derelict. You're so distracted you get completely lost. One more time. Maybe we can unlock something else. Ooh, identifying the twisted holes. Okay, that's the same thing as before. Neutral outcome. Time for the glitch dice! This will definitely work this time. Oh, it did! Oh! We got it! I got the achievement, bitches! Okay, now we won't use that anymore unless we absolutely have to. I just really wanted the achievement. You start paying attention to the wires, feeds, and pipes. They lead you everywhere, from busy thoroughfares to hidden bays. Did we get any? Oh, we did! Okay, old Takahi. Antique. What did it say? I didn't read it. I should have read it. Antique hydrophonic ship. Ah. Work the hydroponics. Old Takahi is the oldest ship in Flotsam and now serves as a huge hydroponic farm, keeping the station alive. Shifts are always available. And we can buy supplies here. And this looks like another... Oh, a tanker. We get fuel here? Because we do need fuel. Oh, yeah. Buy fuel. The Ferris tanker is delivering fuel to the station and selling the excess at a markup. Spacers queue outside the docking tunnel to buy it. The scrap components are bundled up in nets, most of them corroded beyond use. With a careful eye, some good ones can be picked out. Nice. Alright, we're out of dice, but I think we should take that rescue contract right away. It seems like a good idea. Because we don't have any... Traveling takes a -3, we're already at a 0. So if we take only a few cycles and then come back and then we can leave again, and we'll get more scraps and components, which we definitely need. We'll turn on scavenge fuel. I will buy us some fuel over here. How much do we want? Do we want to fuel up? 54? It's probably better to fuel up while we still have the cash, isn't it? Like, we don't want to, like, be in danger and then not have fuel. We might as well make sure we're always full on fuel. If we can't have supplies, we could at least have fuel. And now I say we're out of dice. Pretty good. I think when we come back, we'll be able to finish exploring the hub. So why don't we take this contract right now? Because somebody is in danger. They're stranded. And it's a safe contract. It's only 2. They're not that far away, so let's do it. I swear I know this name, but I could be wrong. Let's see. We'll do you two, and we'll travel to contract. Hopefully we can deal with this. Confirm! And I think we won't be glitching anymore, hopefully. No glitching, but bad rolls. Keep your hands where I can see them. The voice crackles over the open channel of your suit comms as you near the stranded rig. You slow your approach a little as you move towards the ship, its shape lumpy and as skeletal in the distant light of the sun. A warm welcome. Bodes well for the rest of the job. Bliss shoots you a concerned look. It said safe! You look at the stranded ship ahead. Clearly they're feeling a bit exposed. Don't approach silently. They said that they're armed. We're here to help. Well, I figured that, the voice retorts. Otherwise, I would have put a hole in that shiny rig of yours already. You arrive at the side of the rig, inspecting the damages you do. Half the hull plating and big chunks of the internal structure seems to be missing, but you have a feeling that this is not what you're here to fix. The airlock opens and you move inside, the interior all exposed wires and metal framework. The systems wheeze and shudder as it cycles. Oh, hello! Haggard Salvager. Okay, I don't think I know you. Nothing of value here, so if you're looking to steal something, you're welcome to it. Alma greets you plainly inside the rig. You do the work that's needed and I'll let you take your half of the haul. Understood. Well, alright then. Her face is placid and unchanging as a rock. Here's the short of it. Engine's conked out on me and I'm no engineer. Can usually get her going, but this time, no dice. Don't worry, I have 5. She looks between you and the rest of the crew. Surprised there's so many of you, to be honest. Bliss smiles sympathetically. Sorry about that, but don't worry. I've worked on these engines before. They give Alma a wink. I can handle this. Don't be so sure. Alma leads you towards the engine room, the layout of her rig much the same as yours. This girl is the sensitive type. You need to know how to handle her. The central corridor of the ship snakes in a way that isn't familiar to you, and you realize this rig is far more heavily modified than your own, something that becomes all the more obvious when you arrive in the engine room. Rather than the rig's stock engine, a singular block and a double turbine, with feed lines between, Alma's engine is a mess of piping and feed lines, linking up multiple raw components welded together to the interior frame of the room. Your eyes widen at the sight. Been adding to her since I was young. Alma smiles at the chaos. Might look like a mess, but she purrs when she's running. Bliss is shaking their head slowly. Oh, sleeper. They let out a puff of air. This is going to be special. You struggle to tell if they're intimidated or impressed. Perhaps it's a little of both. That's about all of it. Alma gestures to the exploded engine. Get her running and you'll get your half of the haul. What's the haul? Alma glides over to a window set in the side of the engine room and points to the corroded remains of a facility deep in the asteroid's loose, dusty surface. There's the hall. She taps on the glass. As good a find as I've seen. The hall is a building? Building and all that's in it. Alma screws up her face. What, you too good for scrapping? By rights, that building's mine. Scrapper's claim. Alma scratches at her mess of hair. But you help me get her running, and you're welcome to take what you want from it. Up to a maximum of 50% of raw mass, that is. Oh, we have to extract it ourselves, I'm guessing? She looks you up and down, and you feel the first acknowledgement of you being a sleeper. I doubt it'll trouble one of you. Anyway, you're leaving with nothing, unless my girl here is back in shape by the time you are done. She folds her arm across her chest, so get to it. You turn back to the engine, your eyes tracing the madness of interlocking systems. You're starting to have a horrible feeling that this contract is some kind of elaborate joke. We got it. So there is the ruined facility, and we can explore through here, but I think the first thing we should do is actually take care of, the ship, Alma's rig. Engine study. Let's see. The old engine has seen a lot of use and modification. Fixing it means learning how it works. I get a plus to this with Endure, so that could be useful. Bliss also has really good rolls for this. You have a good one, too. I think we should be able to do this pretty quickly. With a system this complex, you can either understand it or approach it systematically, checking it piece by matting piece. I can get up to a 5, so I'll do that. I don't know if I want to risk any of my other rolls right now. There we go, Alma's girl! The systematic approach is working, but there's so much of this engine to fix. Well, we've got another good roll right here. A positive. Nice. Job done, sleeper. And we'll do some engine study as well. Nice. As the engine makes more sense, the sections which need replacement and repair can be addressed. And another one. There we go. Only 2 more now. I'm not willing to risk any of our dice on anything else, but let's see over here. Hidden treasures, raw material. So we have 2 sides we could work on. Beyond the corroded outer walls, this place is just scrap. This is scrapper's work, and it takes resilience more than skill. Gotcha. So I can do Endure on this side, and the only one who can work on the component search is Bliss. Which it would be nice to have some more rare components, because I did have to use a lot of them last time. Are we allowed to work on this while we help her? I mean, probably, right? I think that was the deal. We just can't leave until the ship is good. We could try. But we don't have a lot of good rolls. I'm gonna wait. We could wait a cycle or 2. I'd rather get all of our good rolls on fixing the ship. Because we know the contract doesn't end until we leave. Okay. Not that bad, not that bad. Alright, Alma, we can finish up on your ship. Yep. Let's see. Now, do I want to risk a lower roll with this? Or do I want to... Oh! Dang it. That 4 dice was trying to take us out. We'll use one of our good rolls. There we go, because we might have to do something else after this. There we go, the engine looks right, you can't be sure, but perhaps the job is done. You gather in Alma's rig to see the engine tested. The engine room purrs and chitters. It seems to warm with the sound of the engine, with the polyrhythmic vibrations that rattle through the open framework of the interior. You look over to Alma and you see her eyes are closed, a small tremble at the corner of her mouth. You look at the engine, Alma's engine, an object that you have come to respect over the past cycles, even if you haven't necessarily grown to love it. It is, as you see it now, a difficult thing to love. Whole parts of it make little sense, and its oldest systems, those now bypassed and made obsolete by newer additions, still somehow play an integral role you don't understand. It is unwieldy and unnecessarily so, and the accumulation of parts and patches from its long service make it surprisingly fragile. Meanwhile, other sections have been welded and re-welded so many times that they're impregnable, and will never be able to be replaced. It is uncooperative and prone to sudden outbursts of cooling, fluid, or even fuel. It is restless and will begin to leak when left idle for too long. It is always too cold or too hot thanks to the coolant in the fuel, and it is hard to predict which it will be at any given moment. Oh my goodness, it's a mess. And yet, despite all of this, it is an object you feel close to, that you feel a kinship with, because, in the end, you too are an accumulation of broken parts, long outliving their operational limits. You too are a machine that has become a story, and a story that has grown beyond the ability of others to understand it. You look over to Alma again, and Bliss is there beside her. You can see they are talking, but with the engine running you cannot hear them. You watch for a moment. Bliss is now patiently listening as, in faltering words, Alma explains something to them. Bliss nods, and then suddenly they embrace, gently and with care. Bliss pushes back, and as soon as the moment has passed, it seems like it might not have happened at all. Nothing in the two figures' attitudes betrays the act, and the room seems unchanged. Maybe it's just something about the beauty of the engine or something like that, something you've worked on your whole life not being destroyed, because we fixed it. You try to remember if you have seen them speaking before now, but you recall there are many moments when you're not with Bliss. As you watch Alma approach, you realize the engine is not just special to you, and that between her and Bliss, it might have been the bridge to a unique kind of respect. That's the job, Sleeper. Alma approaches you from the other side of the room, and you know where the payment is to be found. I believe that brings our business to an end. Alma scratches at her hair. Unless you have something to add? What will you do now? I believe that's my business. Oh, okay. She bristles at the question. I'll need to find somewhere quiet to resupply and so on, but I don't think you'd like my usual haunts. She gives you a sly look. I appreciate the assistance. You're welcome to take what you want from the hangar if you haven't already. You see a knowing shimmer in her eyes. Hey, I didn't touch anything. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. Now I must kindly ask you to leave my ship. As the airlock cycles, you look across at Bliss and you swear you see a tear in their eye. Are you okay? Bliss turns to you, as if they forgot you were there. I'm good, Sleeper. Really good. They sniff. This place reminded me of why I do what I do. Why I fix things. They look ahead. There's beauty in it. You find yourself drifting away from Alma's rig in a haze of thoughts. It's clear to you at this point that Alma's history is written all over this place. But more than that, well, you can't be sure. This story, it seems, isn't for you. You realize as you gaze at the broken remains of the facility that Alma never took any of her half of the haul. You turn back and squint at the cockpit of her rig. You see her there, looking out across this wasteland, still as a statue. It's an image that, as you load into the rig and begin the preparations to depart, will stick with you. One that, every time you enter the engine room of your ship, a room almost identical to the engine room of Alma's rig, will leap into your mind. A woman, floating above the wreck of what was once her home, looking for a reason to keep going. Oh, I see. That's really sad. Contract complete! Yay! Well, let's grab our part of the haul. We might as well do that. Not that many of us have good rolls right now, but we can take another day. Perhaps I can try my push. I would love to try that. Let's see. +1 stress, +3 to lowest crew dice. Push! Nice! Just a little stress. It'll be worth it. We want to find the good shit. Give us the good shit. Give us the good shit. I want it. Nice. Raw material. More raw material. And let's see. What else do we got? We could do this one, but I don't know if I want to risk it because it's danger. We can wait another cycle. We'll end the cycle. I've taken a little stress, but that's okay. Push is very useful. Definitely need to upgrade that. Okay, I think we'll be able to clean this up. You and I can use our rolls here. We're not very useful on this side. So you finish up here. Nice, we got the raw material. The scrap is piled and ready. All that remains is to load it to the rig. Oh! You rest a moment, taking a break from dragging the plates you've cut across the asteroid's surface. You find yourself looking up towards Alma's rig, still there on the edge of the crater, and wonder if she's watching. With her engine fixed, you half expected her to leave immediately, but she remains there on the horizon, unable to leave this place. As if in response, your comms channel buzzes. A nice pile you got there, Alma announces herself on the open channel. We'll make scrappers of you kids yet. That scrap will earn you a pretty penny if you know what you're doing, she continues. Holmes Rock is always a good place to offload. I'll give you that for free. Oh, thank you. So is she just watching us do this? You look at the stack of ragged, torch-cut plates as they're loaded into the rig's cargo hold, and you have to admit you do feel a little pride at the work done. Thanks. You earned it. You glance over your shoulder at the cockpit of Alma's rig, where you can see her watching. This one seems more accusatory, and she already doesn't like us prying into her business, so just, what is this place? There's a click on the open channel as it closes, and Alma seems to take a moment to consider her response. She clears her throat. How about you tell me what you think, Sleeper? A signal station? Ha! Sounds like a mystery story. Alma coughs and splutters. No, nothing as interesting as secret communiques were coming out of this place when it was still alive. Alma goes quiet for a moment, but you wait, getting the feeling there's still more to be said. See the old array on the far side? You turn and look up the rock towards the broken frames and panels you can just make out in the dust, catching the sun's weak light. Those were the first priority. Get power running, recharge the cells for the excavators, the welders, turn the scrap into something livable. She falters and coughs. Look at 'em now. You see the tumble-down collection of panels. They look like they were scattered by a careless hand, discarded without much thought. The comms channel clicks off, and you see the distant silhouette of Alma drift into view out of the cockpit of her rig. You turn back to see the scrap has been loaded into the ship, your half of the haul, though you suspect this place is more than just a haul to Alma. Ah, so this was her home. Perhaps. We still do have this side, but it will probably take us another cycle to take care of it. I don't know if I'm willing to risk these rolls. Yeah, because I don't have... Intuit is the skill I don't have, of course. Can I rest? No. I forgot about that. We'll end the cycle. One more cycle will be fine. I think then when we go back, we won't be being hunted all the way. We just really need to keep track when we travel, because we don't have our thing when we're on our contracts. We can't keep track. Ooh! If only my rolls were of any use. We could do another push. One more push wouldn't hurt, right? Well, let me try and help. No, you know what? Why don't you try and help? I don't mind if you guys get stressed. Okay, I'll push. There we go. We got a good roll from you. Nice. We smashed it indeed. Try again. You can do it. No, he can't. Oh, he did. Plus to hidden treasures. And then let's see. Let's see. You got this. You got this. You got this. No, you don't. Let me try now. My turn. How does this always happen at the end? I got it. You find your way to a sealed bay, the door in good condition. Perhaps the treasures are beyond it. Oh, here we go again. There is a hiss and a rush of stale air as the sealed bay, deep in the facility's tunnels, opens for the first time in years. The beams of your suit lamps reach into the dark, picking out waves of dust and debris. They reveal a small bay, big enough for a shuttle, but not a rig like yours. As you glide inside, those same beams catch on the frame of something that sits at the center of the bay. It is wide and flat, with a cylindrical central station that runs its length. As you move around it, looking at the sections of plates and open frame, you realize it is a ship, or at least it was. This frame, filled with rusted components and partially covered with old hull plates, suggests a fast ship, an arrowhead designed to cut through debris and even atmosphere. You float up a little to see it into its central cylinder, and your lamps reveal a cockpit outfitted for 2 people. One sat behind the other. The seats are carefully upholstered, and you realize that this was a labor of love. This whole ship, in fact, seems built by hand, a custom model with little function out here beyond looping around asteroids for the thrill of it. Aww. Was Alma here with someone? Looking closer, brushing away the surface corrosion, you see flames painted on the hull plates in curling patterns, the brush strokes visible even after what must have been many years. As you inspect the half-finished ship, a sense of quiet wonder keeping you silent, you notice a glint towards its rear. You approach it and see an engine, all interlocking tubes and flared vents. It is unlike any you have ever seen, but the holes in its sides suggest it may have never been finished. Those holes are the source of the glint. You reach in and pull out some strange-looking engine components, each pristine and complex. You hesitate for a moment, suddenly feeling like you shouldn't be disturbing such an intimate object. But it occurs to you that nothing would please the person who built the ship more than seeing these handmade components be put to use. You secure them to your suit and push away from the ship. As you leave the bay, you turn and take one last look at the treasure inside. It's possible that it never flew, or perhaps it was in the middle of an extensive refit when this place was abandoned. Either way, its flying years have long since passed, and now with the bay open, it'll corrode much faster, melding with the anonymized scrap of this place in mere cycles. You suppress a shiver, and then start the journey back to the surface, aware of the components dangling at your side. Well, dang. So this was her home. Something happened, perhaps the loss of someone, an impact of some kind, and the ship was left behind. Maybe it belonged to someone she knew. But I don't think that's any of our business. We got our scrap, we got our components, and now we can dip. And we got a little stressed out, but that'll all be gone by the time we get back. So, time to go to the map. Our contract is concluded. You can now travel back to the hub. Once you leave, you will not be able to return. It is okay. We finished. We got everything. And I did not blow anything up this time. Okay? So nobody can get mad at me. Okay, so one cycle into being hunted, we're gonna start scavenging. We're gonna start sourcing supplies. Because we have a good amount of fuel right now. Now let's see. We're nice and full so we can keep exploring. Maybe do some work, but for now we just need to finish exploring. So we'll use this one. We don't want any negative right now. There we go. Flotsam has grown on you quickly. There's nowhere else in the belt quite like it. Here we go. Are we gonna find the doctor person? Or artificer? The chaos of Flotsam intrigues you. Passage to passage, it is the most incoherent place you have ever visited. Plating, cladding, and cushioning of all kinds of conditions hides a forest of wires and ducts, interfacing in ways their manufacturers would never dream possible. Rooms are crushed cargo bays, flipped bridges, and eviscerated engine rooms. Patchwork corridors are lumpen with messy welds bending worryingly along their length. It is, to put it nicely, a total mess. It's not that you don't like it, but finding an artificer among this chaos has been more than a little challenging. This cycle, searching these winding passages once more, seeing only scrap merchants and junk shops, you've begun to wonder if Seraphin had any idea what he was talking about when he advised you to come here. A sleeper, a voice cuts through the pungent air. Well, I never. Oh, hello! You glance in the voice's direction and find yourself looking at a small booth piled with tech. Behind a fogged and scratched plastic screen is a meticulously arranged counter, the only clear spot in sight. At it, an older man with wet and wandering eyes sits neatly. I'm gonna approach the booth. Jean-Mi tilts his head. I didn't mean to be rude. Please. And he bows a little. That's okay. He smiles warmly, almost bowing again, his hunched shoulders accentuating the movement. How... He pauses, taking care with his speech now. How are you feeling, sleeper? He beckons you a little closer. I'm Jean-Michel. Though, please, to you, I'm Jean-Mi. I work with machines. He sweeps a hand above his counter to where you see a configuration of tiny parts. Mostly small ones. He smiles. I'm not great. Of course. He chops with his hand to indicate a stool with a leg bar, meant for perching beside his counter, and such is the clarity and persuasiveness of his movement that you obligingly sit. Your presence is a rare honor here. He smiles and looks down to his lap. I'm sorry if I make you uncomfortable. I'm just very pleased to see you. Can I help you with something? I was more imagining I could help you. Oh, what's the catch, though? I'm sorry, I'm not used to people being nice for no reason. I can see your journey to me has not been easy, he says with genuine concern. You track his eyes across your body, noticing the scuff marks on your thick, vinyl-like skin, the replaced and broken parts of your body, the marks of violence. You pull your jacket a little tighter. Jean-Mi folds his hands one over the other and places them on the counter. I do not know what your experiences have been, but I want to assure you that I see you as a person, a being, a soul, shall we say, as valid as any other. You look at Jean-Mi, his own age and wear also evident, a life of precise and careful work shaping his body into a reflection of his process. You note his unconfident way of speaking, which portrays a certain loneliness, a lack of practice. It is his turn to feel observed. How do you expect me to respond? I don't want to be mean. He seems like a nice old guy, but, I'm just not used to people being so nice without wanting something in return, you know? Even if I've, forcefully adopted multiple people so far, which is very funny because most of them have tricked me or wanted money in some way, but the first person that's nice to me, I'm like, hang on a second. He looks away. I'm sorry, I do not think I'm expressing myself well. He looks down at his counter and begins to take apart a tiny piece of machinery that sits there. Many years ago, when I began my apprenticeship, I would find that whenever I saw something that, was not working well, I was fixated on it and its repair. He tinkers with the parts, twisting them precisely. Of course, the belt is filled with this kind of dysfunctional detail. And so I was busy for many years with these small fixings. He smiles in reminiscence. But now I find that when I am interested in a thing that is not working as it should, he sharply twists one of the parts between his fingers. It is because it might have some quality not yet foreseen or discovered. He releases the altered object into the air where it ballistically twists in a hypnotic display, like a spinning top whose movements are totally unpredictable. Jean-Mi smiles at you, watching his hypnotic toy. I can see that you are in the process of becoming Sleeper. He catches the spinning toy between a finger and a thumb. Let me aid you in this. What do you mean? Jean-Mi's precise hands drop a device around his neck. He deftly pulls a pair of goggles up to his face, masking his wet eyes. Hold still, Sleeper. Something flickers inside the goggles, their face blank. Jean-Mi's hands play across the buttons and switches on the exterior, tuning, focusing. Let him work. Let's see what he's up to. When the goggles are finally lowered, they reveal a look of concern on Jean-Mi's face. I think you better come inside. Oh no, is it worse than I thought? He kicks off from his desk and disappears. A moment later, you hear a rattle and a small bulkhead door beside the booth that you had assumed was rusted shut creaks open. Jean-Mi beckons you inside. Jean-Mi's workshop is even more cramped than you expected. As you enter, you're surrounded on all sides with netting holding bundles and bundles of terminals, servers, drives, and cables. At its center, a padded seat and a set of articulated arms mounted with sensors and tools fills the space. The seat, please. Jean-Mi gestures at it with a polite smile. What are you going to do? Not to worry, I only wish to examine you. It is not intrusive. All right? You tentatively sit on the seat, slipping your arms and feet into the straps meant to keep you from floating out of it into 0G. Jean-Mi floats beside you. Can you imagine being a dentist in a place like this? 0G? I don't know why that came to me all of a sudden. I was in the middle of a sentence. He looks across your body. There is damage here, I see that. We will get to that. But I see something else here as well. This is why you came. He looks at you solemnly. What are you talking about? Please, Sleeper, let us be frank with each other. No, I genuinely don't know what you're talking about. Though I've never met a Sleeper, I've studied them. I was lucky to acquire some materials from Messenarp some time ago, in the interest of my own endeavors. He begins arranging a series of sensors around you on articulated arms. You are pleasingly distinct from those materials. His eyes flash with excitement. Am I right in thinking that you've been modified? I rebooted myself. Why do you ask, actually? You are physically modified, not externally, but internally. He carefully positions the final sensor. Your tracker is disabled, which makes it impossible for SNARP to find you. Congratulations. He smiles broadly. Yeah, that took forever in the last game. This time I'm just glitching and being hunted by someone else. But this is not all. You've been modified, yes, but you're also being modified as we speak. Oh, and fuck, is that from Lane? You feel a strange claustrophobia at Jean-Mi's statement. Modified? Seraphine rebooted your system, ran the recoding protocol, but that shouldn't have physically changed you. It only removed your planned obsolescence. How? Jean-Mi goes to a terminal and flicks a switch. Through the back of the translucent screen, you see a nodal web in the vague shape of a sitting body. Your body. These changes appear to be complex, subtle, but consistent. Jean-Mi goes silent as he taps at the terminal, the representation of your body rotating and unfolding in unsettling motions. What changes? See here. He points at a flickering representation of your spine, tracing a line towards your head. Your nervous system is growing additional nodal points here and here. Meanwhile, your emulation interface is growing an umbilical access port, though towards what end I'm unsure. You instinctively reach back and touch the base of your head. As you do, the scan flickers and screeches with noise. You feel something there, growing under your thick vinyl skin. Can you feel a lump, or is that just your imagination? You pick at it. Jean-Mi sighs and shuts off the terminal. The changes are partial, and in all honesty, he gestures sharply towards the sensors. The resolution is too poor. I'll need to run a full diagnostic, but for that, I would need... He drifts over to another terminal and brings up screens and screens of texts and diagrams. Yes, some kind of medium to hold your suspended emulation. The access jack I can build myself, but we will need to bridge your emulation. Jean-Mi speaks quietly, almost to himself. A ship mind would be ideal for this. Would have to be high capacity, a prime ship mind, Solheim and Origin. Perhaps Helion Gate might hold records of any that were in the system. He taps at the terminal. Jean-Mi turns back to you. Yes, the prime ship mind is essential if you wish further investigations to be done. I will need this above all. He thumbs the terminal off. I'm sorry to say, Sleeper. Can't you tell me more? Accurately? No. He meshes his fingers in front of his chest. It's clear that a process has begun, but is yet to complete. So is this process something that's happening to me naturally, or is it something that Lane did? Was it part of the reboot? Because we know the Sleeper in the first game changed. We had a crazy connection to the eye. But, so is this something similar, or is Lane controlling us somehow? Something he changed? Because he said he wasn't done with us yet. He had plans for us. Are those part of those plans? Because, shut me down if that's the case. I don't want any part of that. Jean-Mi busies himself taking down the sensors and folding away the articulated arms. As he does, you try to calm yourself. You feel as if you have worms under your skin, and it takes all your focus not to pick at its seams. Jean-Mi suddenly but gently places a hand on yours. Please, remain calm. He puts a carefully restored rare component in your hand. This can help you. What? You don't have to do that. Jean-Mi waits for you to fall still, then he leans back a little, relieving some of the strange intimacy of the moment. For now, our work is concluded. He meshes his fingers again and bows with a small head bob. But you're welcome, any time. Thank you. Of course. His manner seems to have returned to something more businesslike, a humble man who knows his customers' needs. You get up from the seat, a little dazed, and push away into the passage. Safe travels, Sleeper, Jean-Mi says quietly, placing the promised list in your hand as he lets you back into the station. You leave dazed, unsure of how to feel about this insistence of this man's particular kindness, but most of all haunted by the idea of the unforeseen processes that are running within you. Part of you does not wish to know anything further, to leave this place and never look back, and another is desperate to immediately retrieve every object on this list, so that you may know what strangeness is happening within you. Oh, we have a fetch quest! For now, you must steady yourself, and find a way to continue. Oh no, so what's happening? We do have a rare component, though. Oh god, so we gotta find a ship mind? Seraphin comes to find you in your bunk. After Jean-Mi's assessment, you find yourself drifting back to the rig, in need of the familiarity and comfort of your own ship. Sleeper? He drifts in. You found an artificer. He hovers by the door, looking concerned. I can't lie to Seraphin. He's my buddy, my bestie. He's helped me so much. And he's been honest with me so far, I think, especially about his sister. We've gotta be honest with each other if we're gonna survive Lane. We're in this together. Explain. You tell him about Jean-Mi, how he offered you repairs and ran an assessment of your frame. You describe the cramped booth, the articulated arms, the strangeness of seeing your own body anatomized upon the terminal screen. Then you tell him that your body is changing, growing in ways Jean-Mi cannot identify, that some process has been started and you do not know where it will end. You mention umbilical ports and nodal points, trying your best to remember the details of the things Jean-Mi asked you to retrieve. Seraphin grows pale and silent. He shakes his head when you stop talking. Lane, he frowns. That piece of shit has to be behind this. We don't know that. I mean, there's a very good chance it could be him, but we don't know that. Like I said, the Sleeper in the first game changed a lot. We were connected to the eye. Maybe this is something similar. I just don't want to, like, there's a very good chance it's Lane, but we don't know that for certain. And what if we stop this right now without looking into it further and then I shut down or something? I know I said shut me down earlier, but that's like if we know this is Lane. We don't, like, I don't want to die. We can't jump to conclusions is what I'm trying to say. We don't know that. I know it's Sleeper. A dark look crosses his face. I'm sure of it. Why are you sure of it? What aren't you telling me? We'll get what you need. We'll find that ship mind. He nods. A bit of work here and there, and we can make it to Helion Gate and whatever else. What about your stuff? Your stuff? I should be like, what about your sister? We'll do that too. He thumps the wall. We're free, Sleeper. No one can stop us. Just say the word, okay? He goes quiet. Don't give up on yourself just yet. He smiles. Get up and get back to it. And with that, he turns and kicks off down the corridor, disappearing from sight. I feel like there's something he's not telling me, but maybe I'm just looking too far into it. You wait a little while, staring at the stained ceiling of the bunks, letting the thoughts settle in your mind. And then, when you're ready, you get up and leave, dazed but with a stony determination growing in your chest. Oh god, so what do we have to find? Okay, Jean-Mi's booth. We need to bring the ship mind. Jean-Mi has promised to run diagnostics on your changing body, but needs a ship mind to house your emulation while he works. And what's this? Integrator Offices, Flotsam Management Association. So can we get contracts here? Oh, engine components. Flotsam maintenance needs constant work to keep it sealed and safe. The integrators are volunteers and can always use some help. Flotsam integration. Integration means meshing systems, as well as scrap. The integrators will pay for anyone skilled with meshing networks. And we can buy engine components. The integrators usually have some engine components to spare, but they know how valuable they are and price them highly. Woo, so then we gotta hang on to these engine components we've got. Diagnose your frame. Something's wrong with your body beyond the damage you have sustained. You need to find someone who can tell you what's happening to you. Locate a ship at Helion Gate. How far is the Helion Gate? Can we even go there right now, or do we need Hasnav? Oh, okay. It's over at Solheim. Oh, and we could go to Holmes Rock right now. Oh, I see, because we can get through the asteroids. If we were trying to go from here to here, we couldn't because of the Hasnav, but now we can get over to Holmes Rock. We still can't get over to anywhere over here. We definitely need a Hasnav to go over there, unless we go to Helion and then go to Green Belt. But right now, I don't know. I don't know what we should do next. Part of me really, really wants to go back to Helion, or just go there straight, but I don't know. It might not be worth it. Maybe not right now. But there's nothing else on Holmes Rock. What else do we have? Where is his sister? Wellspring. So we would have to go to Holmes Rock and then Wellspring. Oh yeah, Cadet has a drive from Hexport. So where are the scatter yards? Scatter yards are over here. But to get there, we have to go down, 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 and down. So there are a lot of different ways we could go. Part of me wants to keep going and exploring, but that's a lot of fuel. If we went here for... It's just 8 to get there. But if we go there, then we can go down here. Or we could go right here. It's 7 to go there. It's 8 to go here. I'm not sure where we should go yet. I mean, we probably should leave eventually. I think we're gonna pull something similar to what we did before. We probably want to do some work around here, save up our money for a few cycles, and then dip. So let's see, where can we work? The Ferris, the tanker. Oh yeah, this place. Shifts are always available. And this is where we can buy supplies from, so let's do some work here. Nice, 8 cryos, not that bad at all. Oh, and they feed you too. There's something soothing about the wafting leaves, the gurgling water, the low light. Old Takahi feels like a sanctuary. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if we should... Do we want to go back to the Far Spindle? I don't know if there's going to be anything new there. But if we do... If we go somewhere else, there's probably going to be more contracts, too. That would be very useful. We really need to make sure we have a good amount of money. Because I don't think, you know, holding on to, like... I don't think, like, the jobs that we're doing will keep us going for a long period of time. Not if we're spending it on fuel all the time. But I don't know. Okay, wait, let me look at the map again. Let me think about this. So, we need to get over to Wellspring. Or was it Seraphim Sisters at Wellspring? Right. So, and Helion Gate. So, we could go here. We could go to Holmes Rock, or we go straight to Helion Gate, figure out what's going on over there, then Holmes Rock, and then Wellspring. So we go straight there. So we could get my stuff done, and also Seraphin's stuff done. Because I feel kind of selfish. We've done everything for me so far. Either that, or we just jump straight over to Wellspring right now. I'll have to think on it. I'm not sure. I really want to learn more about Luce, I think was the name we got. Even though that's not the name that Seraphim knows her as. We could always go straight to Helion, though. I mean, why not, right? I mean, why stop at the Far Spindle at all? We can go straight to Helion, then move on to Holmes Rock. We would just need to get more money for fuel, which we do have money right now. So we could always stock up there. We could just wait a few cycles, you know, get some more stuff. We have the fuel to go, so maybe we just go. But I think that we'll have to wait until next time. We've explored the Flotsam. We know a lot about it, and you know what? I may, let's see. -1 crew stress. Let's see. +1 to affected crew dice. -2 crew stress if full. -1 crew stress unless full. This one might be more useful, but this one might be better. Push affects both crew and dice. Both crew dice? Oh, maybe we want that one. So maybe we get this one, and then we get both crew dice. Oh, but that one's good too. But we already get a +3 to lowest crew dice. That's pretty useful. And if it affects both, that's pretty good. Let's go with this one for now. Oh, no, wait, didn't I say it was going to alternate? Yeah, so we're going to hold on to that for now. But I think we've explored the Flotsam. We'll do a few shifts here. Actually, let's do that right now. Why not? We'll do 2 cycles here, and then we'll dip, and we'll go straight to Helion. Because I don't know if there's going to be anything new at the Far Spindle, and I don't know if it's worth the stop right now. We can always come back over there if anything changes. Oh, those were such bad dice rolls. Those aren't good. Well, at least we have a + to endure, so we could still get some money. There we go, a little bit, but the 2s and the 1s are not worth using. We'll just end the cycle again. And let's see. Oh my lord. This is rude. I'm finally out of glitch dice, and now I'm just getting the shittiest rolls imaginable. Okay, that's not bad though. We got a positive, and they give us food back. Nice. Okay, so we're back in the hundreds. We started at like 200 something, and we're down to the 100s, but that's okay. We have 3 supplies and 8 fuel. So I think as we move up, we're going to continue sourcing supplies, but once we get there, we want to start sourcing fuel. Anything we can grab would be a good idea. So, you know what? I don't know if we could do this right away when we get somewhere new, but we'll switch it over to scavenge fuel so that we could get that done. But next time, we're leaving the Flotsam, we're going straight to Helion Gate, and then unless anything very dangerous shows up where we have to run for the hills, we're going to go to Holmes Rock and then Wellspring up to try and find Seraphin's sister. So that's our goal. We're going to try and do both of our stuff at the same time because Seraphim deserves it. He's a good friend. And I guess Bliss is along for the ride too, and so is Yujin. We're all just hanging out together. I don't know if what's happening to us is from Lane. I feel like it could be something else, but we won't know until we get that ship mined, and it's gonna probably take a little bit. I don't know how much work we're gonna have to put into it. I guess we'll find out at Helion Gate. Probably a crazy contract of some kind, so we'll have to keep an eye on cycles for sure. We'll need to make a checklist to make sure that we are far away by the time Lane would have come to the contract looking for us. But that stuff we'll worry about next time. So until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, don't forget your yearly checkup with your local artificer, and have a good day.